I'm going to quickly hit shooting in terrain, just a little bit that we teach in a level 2. And the only reason I'm doing this now is because I know we got hunts coming up where some of you guys may not have time to make it to the class before your hunts. Remember, when you're shooting into or across a valley, the valley acts like a half pipe. Wind coming through that valley is going to be highly compressed in the center, and you're going to get a wind kick, and it's going to push you off target or off animal. So in Eagle Ballistics, I got a tool that helps you. Is it perfect? No. Because again, when you're using a wind meter or a wind device at you, it's not the same as the wind at that max ord or where that bullet's going to be hit the most. Inside Eagle Ballistics, I've had this out for just over a year. You can see in the upper top portion of it, it tells you exactly how high your bullet's going up, and it's telling you where that bullet's being hit at the apex of it. Again, we've had this out for a long time, and it works really well for helping you understand what's going on for wind. Now, why do we care about that? If I'm shooting down at an elk in a valley, line of sight is my crosshairs on the target.
Push right quarter
We
minute.
know that that bullet's going up 5 feet above that elk, and that's where it's going to have that wind gradient, high compression, and we know it's going to get hit the most. Now, before I push the button on here, let me explain this. For you guys that have been through my shooting school, you know how to read rain angle, you know how to read mirage. You will not use this tool for those instances, because you can physically see what's going on in those valleys with my wind technique, all right? For you guys that have not been through the school, this is going to help you if you don't know how to do what I just explained. So again, set your wind meter up at you, Calypso, Kestrel 2700 is what we use here. We use the WeatherFlow, any wind device to give you wind speed. Connect it with devices, connect it live, and now you got live running wind on the app, right? And let's just say it's a 9 o'clock wind at 10 mile an hour. We see the elk down in the valley, we range it, we get our data, and then we click on valley. You'll notice it went from a 5-minute wind hold, 5.7, to a 7-minute wind hold. So what Eagle Ballistics does is it adds a very educated percentage to your wind hold based on the compression in the valley, all right? Now again, it's not perfect, but it's better than missing the animal. With this, you're probably not gonna miss, but you're probably not gonna hit exactly where you want. In other words, if you're doing a high shoulder shot, you may hit it in the back lung, but it's better than missing the animal. This is a very educated guess program on what's actually happening to the bullet at that max ord in that valley, all right? So let me get back off of it again. Just want to kind of explain what the valley mode is in Eagle Ballistics. By the way, anytime you use something in Eagle Ballistics, it turns orange, and it's reminding you, hey, you left this on, you better get rid of it before your next shot. So let me summarize this and make this simple. Wind at you is not your best bet. Learn to read rain and mirage like we teach here at Barber Creek, all right? The correct way, not what's been out there for years and years. And then the other thing is, if you have to use a wind device, wind meter, Calypso Mini, non-AB, of course, if you're using Eagle Ballistics, and then this is going to help you, again, that's my wife saying hi, this is going to help you be able to make that shot across a valley or into a valley, all right? That's all we're talking about, is that compression in the valley from the wind coming through a crosswind, the animal being across the valley, your bullet passing through it at a max ord, and that apex of that max ord, that wind gradient that's increasing, and that compression is going to make you miss by using a wind meter. Again, like I teach you here at Barber Creek, when you guys come here, the wind meter is your last resort. My students will never pull a wind meter out unless they have to, all right? But until you get to that point, the wind meter is going to work for you to a certain distance, all right? But terrain does affect that distance. All right, hopefully this makes sense. Wind acts like water. It will jump up, highly compress at the top of a hill. It will roll over and have turbulence. It will restabilize 7 times the height of the hill. Wind shadow, I probably don't care about that. The other thing is valleys act like half pipes, so you're gonna get a compression, and then if your bullet's passing through that max ord in that compression, you're gonna get a wind kick in that valley, all right? So I've got some really good techniques on using rain and mirage to figure those out precisely. That's why my students love the level 2 when we're doing this. We got 2 valleys and 3 ridges we shoot, and they get to play with all these techniques I teach them. But until you get there, Eagle Ballistics is a great help for you. All right, you guys enjoy this. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.